What's up, Madden community? MT Squared back with another Madden 22 Ultimate Team video. The regular season is over. My team, the Miami Dolphins, did not make the playoffs. I hope your team did, but the playoffs also mean Madden's annual playoff promotion, which should be coming out this coming Friday, January 14th. In today's video, I'm going to go over my predictions for all 14 teams that made the playoffs, highlighting one offensive player and one defensive player. There will probably be an offensive lineman or two in the promo. I did not include them as I'm not going to try and guess which offensive lineman from which team gets a card. I think you'll agree each of these players needs an upgrade, some more than others for sure, but there's also some under-the-radar guys that have just been having outstanding seasons and some veterans also that always show up when they need to in times like the playoffs. If you do find this video helpful, drop a like down below, subscribe so you can see future content, and let me know. Who did I miss? Is your team in the playoffs? And who do you think your team will get? All right, let's get into this. Starting off, we got A.J. Brown for the Tennessee Titans. He had 869 yards, 5 touchdowns, both led his team this season. And he was also out for like 4 or 5 weeks. And you can just tell that when A.J. Brown was not out, that offense for the Tennessee Titans was just not the same. Obviously, they were missing Derrick Henry most of the season. He might be back for the playoffs. But when A.J. Brown was also out, the offense just was lacking a lot, in my opinion. If A.J. Brown does get an upgrade, it should be a really good card. With this 87 overall flashbacks card that he got, he had 88 speed. So if he gets a 95 overall, he could potentially be at 95, maybe even 96 speed, depending on how much EA wants to juice up his card. On defense for the Titans, we have Jeffrey Simmons. Simmons had 8.5 sacks and 54 tackles. Simmons just has been having a really good season overall. I think he was second or maybe third in sacks on the team. Harold Landry was the leader in sacks on defense, but he's already got like a 93 or 94 overall card, so I don't see him getting an upgrade. For the Chiefs, when Travis Kelce or Tyreek Hill was not catching balls, it was usually Mecole Hardman. He had a really good season this year. He had 59 receptions, 693 yards, which was third behind Kelce and Hill, and 2 touchdowns. If the Chiefs are going to do well in the playoffs, I think Hardman and Byron Pringle are going to have really big games. They can't rely completely on Tyreek Hill and Travis Kelce, especially with their run game being a little lackluster. But we'll see. If he does get a card, he also is going to have a really good card. He's got 92 speed on this 88 overall Team Builders card, so he could have a really nice card if he gets an upgrade. On defense, I think Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu finally gets an upgrade. He didn't have a stellar season. He had 76 tackles and 3 interceptions. His 3 interceptions actually led the team, though. So I think he'll get an upgrade for the playoffs promo. For the Bills, I think everybody probably sees this one coming. Josh Allen just had a really good season, both passing and rushing. He had 4,400 yards passing and 763 yards rushing, with 36 passing touchdowns and 6 rushing touchdowns. Pretty much a one-man show on offense when you look at it. They didn't really have too much of a rushing game, for most of the season. I think Josh Allen definitely gets an upgrade here. And if he gets an upgrade, he'll likely be able to get Gunslinger, potentially also Hot Route Master, depending on what his awareness comes in at. On defense, both Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer had, really good seasons. They both had 5 interceptions, which led the team. But I think Micah Hyde gets the nod here. Poyer has a 90 overall card. Micah Hyde has the 89. So both of them are really good safeties, probably the best safety duo in the NFL. Next up, we got for the Bengals, Joe Mixon. So Mixon had 1,200 yards rushing this year with 300 yards receiving, 13 rushing touchdowns, and 3 receiving touchdowns. Just had a really good season. Bengals fans have been begging for him to get an upgrade, and I think they definitely see one here. Next up on defense, we got Logan Wilson, middle linebacker. He had 100 tackles, which led the team. He also had 4 interceptions, which also led the team. I know he just got an upgrade for Zero Chill, but I think he'll get an upgrade here, or at least he is definitely deserving of one. For the Patriots, Damien Harris. So for a team, the Patriots mostly having a running back by committee for several years in a row now. Damien Harris had a really good season, 929 yards and 15 rushing touchdowns. Just had an outstanding season. I think he gets an upgrade here. On defense, I know a lot of people are saying Devin McCourty for safety, but I looked at the stats, and Kyle Duggar definitely had a better season. 92 tackles and 4 interceptions, both second on the team. I think he had kind of an under the radar type of season, so I think he gets an upgrade here over Devin McCourty. I could definitely still see McCourty getting it. He is definitely a leader on that defense, but I think Kyle Duggar deserves it a little bit more. For the Raiders, see, the Raiders on offense could really go anyway. They have Derek Carr and Josh Jacobs that have 90 overall cards, and Darren Waller that has his 91 overall card. But looking at, kind of this year and the team, I think Derek Carr gets the nod here to get the upgrade, just because he's a bigger part of that offense, in my opinion. He had 4,800 passing yards with 23 touchdowns. So I think we'll see a Derek Carr playoff card. On defense, Yannick Ngakoue led the team with 10 sacks. That Raiders defensive line is outstanding, and I think Ngakoue gets a upgrade for the playoffs. For the Steelers, Deontay Johnson, wide receiver, led the team with 1,161 receiving yards and 8 touchdowns. Just had a really good season. Again, this is going to be another card that could be really good if he gets an upgrade with this 90 speed on his 88 overall card. We could be seeing 95, maybe even 96 speed if he gets a 95 overall card. For defense for the Steelers, going to go with Terrell Edmunds. He had 89 tackles and 2 interceptions. Just had a good season. Edmunds tends to get pretty good cards. He's a fast safety. So if he gets an upgrade, he's also going to be really fast. For the Packers, I think Alan Lazard's going to get an upgrade here. He had 500 yards and 8 touchdowns, both second on the team, obviously behind Devontae Adams. On defense, Rasul Douglas, he's got this Team of the Week 87 overall card. He led the team with 5 interceptions and has just having a really good season. For the Rams, I think we're going to go with Tyler Higbee, tight end. He had 61 receptions, which was second behind none other than Cooper Kupp. And he was third on the team in both yards and touchdowns, 560 receiving yards and 5 touchdowns. On defense, I know Taylor Rapp also just got a zero chill upgrade, but I think he gets an upgrade here too. He had 94 tackles, which was second on the team, and 4 interceptions, which led the team. For the Cowboys, I think their theme team finally gets a running back that is usable in the game at this point. The only running backs that they have in the game are Ezekiel Elliott and that Tavon Austin out of position card that came out for blitz. But I think Zeke gets an upgrade here. Zeke had 1,000 yards rushing and 287 yards receiving, 10 rushing touchdowns and 2 receiving touchdowns. So I think Zeke will get an upgrade here. For defense, so I'm going to say DeMarcus Lawrence. He didn't have a great season. Obviously, he was injured probably half the season, so he was kind of quiet. But he's just one of those players that plays big in big games, and I think that if the Cowboys defense is going to continue doing what they have been doing, DeMarcus Lawrence is going to be a big part of that. So I think we'll see an upgrade for him for the playoffs program. For the Buccaneers, Mike Evans had 1,000 yards receiving. Fun fact: he has been in the league for 8 seasons and has gotten 1,000 yards receiving every single season. The only player in NFL history to do that, which I think is pretty cool. Mike Evans has always been a really good receiver for the Bucs, obviously, and he had 14 touchdowns this season, leading the team. So I think we'll see an upgrade for Evans. On defense, Sean Murphy-Bunting, I think gets an upgrade here. I was surprised to see on the Bucs theme team, there is no current day cornerback over an 86 overall for the Buccaneers. So I thought that was pretty surprising, but I remember Sean Murphy-Bunting last year in the playoffs and even in the Super Bowl just played above his normal level. So I think we see a Murphy-Bunting upgrade, which could be another really good corner from a speed perspective, with him having 88 speed on this 84 overall Team Builders card. For the Cardinals on offense, we're going to go with Zach Ertz. He had 763 yards and 5 touchdowns. On defense, we're going to go with Jalen Thompson. He had 121 tackles, which led the team, and 3 interceptions, which was second on the team. For the Eagles, Dallas Goedert, tight end, had 830 yards, 4 touchdowns, both second on the team. And we're going to go with TJ Edwards, middle linebacker. We could have gone with him or Alex Singleton, but where Alex Singleton, I think, has a 91 overall card, I think Edwards gets the upgrade here. He had 130 tackles, which was second behind Alex Singleton. And both of those middle linebackers, just really good. Either one of them could get the upgrade, but I think we see Edwards get it. And for the 49ers, Elijah Mitchell for running back. Rookie had 963 yards, which led the team in 5 touchdowns. He was also out for several weeks. I think he only played 11 games. So, I think he was definitely a really good player, really good rookie for the 49ers, and I think he'll get an upgrade. Definitely be interesting to see what he'll be able to do next season, especially if he's able to play a full 17-game season. And on defense, we're going to go with Jimmy Ward. Jimmy Ward had 77 tackles and 2 interceptions, which interestingly enough led the team. Nobody else had more than 2 interceptions, which I thought was interesting. But Jimmy Ward hasn't gotten an upgrade since his Core Elite card came out at the beginning of the season, and I think he'll get an upgrade here. We also normally get masters or champions for each promo. Last year, EA gave us 196 overall master each week, and then at the end of the 3 weeks of playoffs, you could put all 3 of those 96s into a set for 97. Last year, the 96s were John Abraham, Joe Montana, and Adrian Phillips, with the 97 overall champion being Steve Smith Sr. For this year's Masters champions, I'm going to predict 2 players, 1 offense and 1 defense. On offense, I predict Jerry Rice will get an upgrade. He has not gotten a card since his 91 overall Legends card came out. And on defense, I'm going to predict we will finally see a Rod Woodson card. Steelers fans have been begging for this card to come out for a while, and I think their wish comes true with the playoffs promo. And that's it for today's video. Let me know your thoughts on my predictions, who I missed, and who do you think will be in this promo. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, drop a like down below and subscribe so you can see future content. And thanks for watching.